Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's another trading day. So excited for today. Yesterday, I went live with my community and I broke a rule on camera. I exited my trade early, just not watching the chart. I was watching the chart, but at the same time, I had my phone up and I was also watching the P&L. And I'm trying to get into the habit of not watching the P&L and just watching the chart. We exit the trade and we get in the trade based on what the chart is telling us. We don't get out based on what the money is saying. So yesterday was still a good green day, but I could have maximized my profits. And I was kicking myself yesterday. I'm like, I'm cool about it now, but yesterday I'm like, dang, why didn't I hold? Like, what are we doing? That's the most important part of the journey is your rules. Like, once you set those rules, don't break them. It's hard not to break a rule. It's hard, but I'm actively working on it. So we're going to see what the day brings. We ain't breaking no rules today, okay? We ain't breaking no rules today. Staying disciplined on the charts also means staying disciplined in your real life too. So I've been really working on my workout schedule and getting out here every morning to do my walks. And so far, I've been coming out here. I've been doing my walks and workout. I'm starting my body recomp today. I'm excited for that. It's time to really drop some weight. So running total right now, I'm down 3 pounds. So that's where we're at. Might be like 3 point something. I'll put it on the screen. But you got to exercise your mind. You got to exercise your body. All of those things, being disciplined in your life, it flows over into the charts. Getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, moving your body, your mindset. All of that is so important because if you can't be disciplined in those areas of your life, how are you going to be disciplined to show up every day on the charts and not break your rules and really show up to learn too? It's like you got to be, discipline is just so important. Mindset is so important. I always say trading is 90% mindset and 10% strategy. I'm interested in how it's going to be when my kids get back home. I have one more week before I go pick them up. They were in Jersey with their grandparents, their family, my brothers. Homeschool's starting back up. So it's going to be interesting trying to get my schedule together now. Like, this block is for this block is for this. Homeschool's here, outings are here. I'm trying to get my schedule together now because it's easy to say all these things, but then when the time comes, it's like executing it can be hard. So, and that comes back to discipline. Like, I got to be like 100% with this. Getting up at 5, getting my walk in, getting my son ready for what he got to do. My daughter's high school, so all her work she does, by herself. She's independent, and it's him. So I just have to make sure that I am, following a good schedule and doing this stuff. Just keeping my schedule. It's easy when there's no kids here, it's just you against you. But when I have them, I got to really figure things out. So it's going to be interesting to see how August plays out.
I'm telling you this today, like, it will get better. And I'm speaking from experience, not from a person who's just looking at a situation. Like, I actually went through it. So I know that it does get better. Your kids will have better. You will have better. Things will be better. Thank you. I really needed that because
I love my community. Oh my gosh. Y'all don't know yet, but y'all will find out. I am a crybaby. And stuff just like makes me emotional. And like the conversation that we had this morning on live was just like so heartfelt and so like, like, this is why I do this. Like, this is why I do this. Like, it's so important for women to have these spaces. It's so important for women to be able to have a sisterhood, have someone to talk to vent to be, to be open with without judgment. And I was telling one of my friends recently, Because she wants to change. She wants to get out of one field and start into another. And, I was telling her, think about your skills. You only have to be one step ahead of somebody else to help somebody else with something. And that just came full circle today, because one of the ladies on my live today in my community, she was just, speaking of a place of just having a baby and breaking up with, her ex and trying to figure out which way is what. And it's like, I was there. Like, I was where she is today 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Well, wait, 3 years ago now. Thinking of the time my son is about to be 5, but I was going through all that 5 years ago. Yeah, 2021, I was going through all this stuff. And the way she was describing not knowing what's next for her, where, I can't see beyond today. I can't see beyond the pain of today. And it's like, dang, that's where I was. I couldn't see beyond the pain of today. I am a testimony for you, for her, for them, for whoever, that it does get better. Like, it gets better. Like, no pain lasts forever. Yep, you know this. Like, it gets better. Today, like, I don't know, like, it just, I seen somebody post yesterday, like, it feels good, like, helping other people. And today just really hit home of why I started this community and why it's a women's community. You know what I mean? Like, that really hit home for me. So if you're going through anything right now, you can't see tomorrow, it gets better. Let's talk rules. Because the one thing that's going to set you apart as a trader, one thing that's going to keep you in a trading game, is going to be your rules. Are you breaking those rules? Are you repeatedly breaking those rules? The one thing keeping you from being a profitable day trader is your rules. So I told myself, right, that I was not going to be watching the P&L when I get into a trade, which means you're watching your money move. I told myself I was not going to do that no more, because once you start watching your money move, it does something to you emotionally, where, what is that mindset? Not a greedy mindset, but a mindset of lack. Like, oh my gosh, I need to take the money that I see right now before, because I don't know if it's going to be anymore. That's a lack mindset. Or, okay, I see some red, let me hurry up and get out of it before I lose any more money. So the thing is, you have to be so confident in your setup, confident in your strategy, confident in what you chose to do when you entered the trade, and let the trade play out. Watching the P&L, watching the money go up and down is only going to cause you to either, 1, get out of the trade too early, or 2, get out of the trade too late, because you're only going to see green and you're going to say, oh my gosh, let me secure that. Or you're going to see red and you're going to say, oh my gosh, let me get out of here. Or you're going to hold on to that red hoping it turns back green. But it's like, you don't know what's going on the chart if you're looking at the money. Stop watching the money and watch the market. So that's one of my rules that I told myself that I'm no longer breaking at. I'm going to watch the chart's movements. The past couple trades that I went back and I back tested and I got out early and it continued to run without me, going back to look at those trades from a new set of eyes, a fresh set of eyes, it's like, I had no reason to get up out of them trades. It was nothing indicating to me that the trade is reversing. Why am I exiting? Then I go back to my journal. Oh, I know why I exited. Because I was looking at the money. I'm looking at the money. Let me secure that little bit of profit. Let me take this profit when I could have maximized my profit had I held my trade. So going forward, one of my rules, my non-negotiable rules, is no watching the P&L once I'm in the trade. We're watching the chart. We're setting our stop levels, looking at our stop levels, noticing, okay, this is where I'm going to get out of the trade at. This is where I'm going to stay in the trade at. If it crosses here, then I'm out. If it ain't crossing here, it ain't no need to get out. One of the books that we're reading for the book club inside my community talks about exactly that. Like, it's crazy because you would think people would do the opposite. You would think someone would hold their winning trade longer and cut their losing trade shorter. But people have the mentality of, if I just hold on to this losing trade, I don't want to lose this money. If I just hold on to it, maybe it will turn back around. Someone actually asked this in the community the other day.
If I'm down 200, why won't I just hold on to it to see if it will go back? Because it might not go back. It may go down 300. We don't want to wait. So you would think people would do the opposite, and most times they don't. They don't. They think, let me cut my winner short. Let me cut my winner short. Let me secure this little bit of profit instead of waiting to see if you'll make more. But when you're losing, you'll say, oh, let me hold on to it. Let me hold on to it. There has to be some sort of operating in lag. I wrote down a little note. With the winning trade, we become afraid of losing a profit we can already see, so we grab the money early. And with the losing trade, we suddenly become patient. We give it room, hope it will come back, rationalize staying in, and sometimes watch the loss grow. You know what I mean? We'll watch the loss get bigger and bigger and bigger. Why? And in the book, the author says, like, his argument is like, we need to reverse that behavior. If you want to become a profitable trader, you want to be a better trader, you need to reverse that. Cut those losers short quickly and let those winners run. Let those winners run, because a win is a win. Even if your winner is winning, right? He said, I don't have no take profit level. I don't have a take profit level. I let it run. And once it gets to where then it starts to reverse, like it's clearly reversing, then I get out. And he said he doesn't think of it as, oh, I would have had more had I got out sooner. No, because a green is a green, right? He says, I would rather have a winning trade that goes to zero than have a trade that I got out early in and then watched it run without me. Listen, at least you ran it down to the ground rather than you get out early and watch it run without you. That's real stuff, because it starts to play with your mind. You get out of a trade early and watch it run on without you and watch how you feel. Rather than you ride that thing down till it don't go down no further or go up no further. At least you know I held my position, I stayed in that position, and I maximized my profit. Or if it reversed on me and it went to zero, at least I ain't had no anxiety. I was calm in my trade. I sat there, I rode this thing down. That's what it's about. So when I talk about breaking my rules, that's what I mean when it comes to breaking my rules. I'm going to not watch that P&L. I'm going to pay attention to the chart. I'm going to show you the trade I took yesterday. And I took two trades yesterday. I took SPY and QQQ. And SPY, I stayed in. QQQ I stayed in. SPY, I got out early when I should have held it. And so I noticed it was still going, so I hopped back in. But the thing is, I would have maximized my profit had I just stayed in from the beginning. What did I get out for? Because I got nervous, my anxiety. That's something I got to work on. We can't keep hopping out of trades that's going the right way. Anytime I had a losing trade, it's because I either got out during a pullback, got out too early, not waiting, probably because I got in too late. Anytime I had a loss, it's because I got out too early. You know what I mean? I'm not sitting through the pullback. It's no reason for me to be exiting this trade. What are we getting out for? Because our feelings? We feeling a little antsy? No, calm down and let that thing play out. Let it play out. Only if you're wrong and you see it's wrong and it's something happening on that chart that's telling you otherwise, then you hop out. There's been times I got out and just because it was a little pullback, boom, got out. Secured either a little tiny bit of profit or, ended up in a loss. That little bit of negative, like, let it ride out. What you scared? You see a little bit of loss, you scared? Let it play out. That's what we doing from now on. We letting it play out. Letting our trades pay out so we can maximize our profits. That's it. He would rather allow a profitable trade to come substantially back, even potentially losing the open profit, potentially losing it, than repeatedly cut great trades short because he was afraid of giving some profit back. Like, hold the trade. Experience that feeling of holding the trade. Because as you start to experience it, it's going to be nothing to keep experiencing it. And then sooner than later, you'll be holding these trades, sitting through these trades, letting your trade play out and maximizing that profit, taking your profit. That's it. We can't be panic selling. We won't last at all if we be panic selling. I had a month where I was selling early, like the entire month. I kid you not. I was getting out of trades even though my bias was correct. I got in correctly, entry was correct, or I hesitated when I got in, so the entry wasn't correct. But when it was correct, I got out early. Even when I knew my bias was correct, right? And what happened? As soon as I get out, what happened? The trade ran on without me. I didn't want to experience that no more. So my rule I set was do not watch that P&L. Stop, put the phone down. When you get in your trade, put the phone down. Put it down. Why are we so patient when we're wrong, but we're so impatient when we're right? I'm going to let you sit with that. Let me know in the comments. Why are you so impatient when you're wrong? No, so patient when you're wrong, but impatient when you're right. Why? Let me know in the comments. Let's get into this trade that I took yesterday. I'm going to show you QQQ. I'm going to show you SPY. I'm going to show you how it was no reason for me to jump out of SPY. I got out of it, but I got back in. We still made good profit. But we are maximizing these gains. We're growing this account. Let's get into the trades. Okay, so this is the replay for SPY. Wait, is this SPY? Yes, this is SPY. So this is how the chart looked yesterday. When I came onto the market in the morning, I noticed there was this gap here. So I knew SPY was going to have to fill this gap, right? I knew in my head that it was going to go down here and fill this gap. So let's hit play. So as soon as market opened, we got our orb level. It shot down. So look, I got my entry, right? Entry them fired up, got in there, and somehow I got out right there. So where these indecision candles are right here, even though I know indecision means let's just wait and see what's going to happen. That don't mean get out the trade. That means the buyers and sellers are both, they're at a standstill. They're fighting right now. So there was no reason for me to get out. What did I do? I got out. And so when I got out, then of course it wanted to keep on going without me. But the thing that what happened was, I believe I was on a 2-minute time frame. So I told myself my other rule is when it's on a 2-minute time frame, I do my entries on a 2-minute time frame. I have to get out of the 2-minute time frame. I have to, as soon as I do my entry, click over to the 5. I didn't. So after I saw these big candles in my mind, I'm thinking I'm on a 5-minute, but I was on a 2. And then boom, these candles started coming, but they didn't pass my 9 EMA. It was no reason for me to get out of the trade. It was no reason. So I got out, and when I seen that it wasn't passing, after I watched it for a little bit, I got back in around here and I wrote it down to TP3. But had I had just stayed in that trade, that was a beautiful trade yesterday. Got in around 9:52. I could have held on to that trade all the way about an hour. That would have been an hour of gains. This is what I'm saying. Hold your trade. If nothing is telling you to get out the trade, do not get out the trade. There's no need for that. So then QQQ literally, SPY and QQQ literally, sometimes they just look the same, right? They mirror each other. QQQ had a gap to fill, and it's like, there's a gap, so it's going to go down. And all SPY did yesterday was hit that gap and then, did what it did. So it's like I knew in my head I was supposed to hold the trade. QQQ did the same thing. Soon as market opened, we got our orb. It breaks out of the orb. We got our fire. My indicator told me, hey, get in the trade. I got in it. But the thing with QQQ was I held Qs, okay? I stuck with it. And we rode Q on down. Easy. TP1 hit easy. And QQQ went all the way to TP3 yesterday. Like, it kept going. This was another textbook trade. And my indicator be doing the thing. Like, when I say I struggle with entries getting in my trade, I will always second guess. I built it to tell, okay, you know what, this is the entry. Get up on in there. So that's what it did. I got in. Switch to the 5-minute is what you really want to do. And boom, same thing. 5-minute, and you would have just held it, because it's nothing telling you to get out of this. Nothing telling you. And I get it. When you're trading a small account, every dollar feels personal. It feels hard when you see those losses, it hits harder when you have a small account. You're more prone to be more flexible when your account is bigger. But if you don't know how to handle these small losses, you're not going to know how to handle bigger ones. You're just not, like, as your account grows, because of course you're going to leverage more. So you got to get that under control. You got to know how to hold those trades and be okay with losing. And when you lose, don't take it personal. A loss today don't mean nothing tomorrow. It's a fresh day on the charts. So if you're growing a small account right now, I get it. You want to take that little profit that you see, you want to grab it, snatch it up on out of there. And if you see some red, you want to hurry up and, again, it's like sometimes you'll hold that red because you're hoping that it will go back so you can get the profit for the day. We are watching and judging the charts. That's it. I got to get that together, because next week I go pick my kids up. The week after that, I'm taking them to the beach for a week. So I'm definitely going to be trading from the beach. I'm going to have to manage my emotions. Holding into my trade. Can't get bored. Like, I want to get out of this trade now. No. We got to take care of that. Tomorrow we'll be talking about the money habits that kept me broke in my 30s. So that's going to be a good conversation. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for my next video.